Yo, what it is, you know what it is. It's your man, King Musa. Welcome to the Cheat Sheet, where we decode success for creators, professionals, and business owners. I'm your host, King Musa, and today we'll be diving into education with the leader who's shaping the future of STEM, teaching and inspiring the next generation of educators. We're honored to have Dr. Jane Long, Director of JacksTeach at Stephen F. Austin State University, with us today. Dr. Long is at the forefront of transforming STEM education, and we're excited to learn about her journey and incredible work she's doing with future educators. Welcome, Dr. Long.
Hi, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. So, before we get started, though, I have a quick icebreaker for you.
Okay.
The new iPhone 16 just came out. You know, we're talking about STEM, technology,
Mm.
innovation, all of that, right? Would you get the iPhone 16, and what is your opinion about the innovation of Apple lately?
Apple's innovation is not on my personal radar so much.
Okay.
I am a longtime Android user, and it would be really hard for you to get me to change.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm really
Okay.
happy with my Android phone. So,
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's go ahead and get started. Can you introduce yourself and what you do here at SFA?
yeah, I'd be happy to. I am a professor in the math department. So
Hmm.
that's my home department, my training, my background. But for a few years now, I've been the director of the JacksTeach program,
Right.
which is for students who are preparing to become high school math and science teachers.
We like it.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
our program follows a model from UT Austin called UTeach, which is
Hmm.
why we're called JacksTeach. And what we do is we focus on helping students learn how to teach math and science, particularly.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have math and science majors, and in all their education classes, they take those with us.
Right.
And so all of their classmates are focused on teaching math and science. All their professors are math and science professors,
Mhm.
including people who have like decades of experience teaching
Yes,
in
ma'am.
schools themselves. So it's a pretty neat program.
Yeah.
It's pretty special, and one of my favorite things about it is we actually get students in the classroom their very first semester of college.
Right.
So in a lot of
Wow.
education programs, you don't get to go into a classroom until junior year.
Yes, ma'am.
But with us, first semester freshman year, you can try out teaching. And we have small scholarships for students who take our Step 1 tryout teaching course.
Yes,
If you get an
ma'am.
A or a B in it, you should get an A or B in
Ah,
it. You get a
yeah.
$300 scholarship. And so that's really how we pitch it to people. Try out teaching, see if this career is something you're interested in. And
Yes,
some people
ma'am.
are like, yeah, this, I never thought it, but this is where I want to be. And some folks say, I think maybe I want to be an elementary teacher, and that's
Right.
great. And some people are like, yeah, I can go back and be like my high school math and science teachers who changed my life.
That's so exciting. I can't wait to learn more about that in a little
Thanks.
bit. But I want to learn. I want to learn a little bit more about you.
Okay.
So where are you from? Did your parents go to college? What city did you grow up in? And what got you into like teaching or math and science?
Okay. Yeah. So I graduated from high school in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay.
Both my parents went to college. My dad has an MBA. He's retired now. And
Right.
my mom focused on me and my sister, bringing us up,
Yes,
for
ma'am.
which I'm really grateful. And then I went to college outside of Philadelphia at a small school called Bryn Mawr.
Okay.
And Bryn Mawr is a women's college, and they have really strong representation in mathematics.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was one of the reasons I chose it. And I
Okay.
visited, and I really, really liked the atmosphere. I think going to a women's college was a great thing for me at that
Right.
point in my life. And after that, I went straight to graduate school at the University of Maryland. I met my husband, and we got married, and we had our son
Right.
there. My husband, Nicholas Long, is also a professor in the math department.
Okay.
So that is how we ended up here. We needed 2 jobs in the same place, and
Yes, ma'am.
SFA came through. Our son is a senior in high school now, and our daughter is a freshman. They both go to Nacogdoches High School.
That's so sweet. I
Yeah,
like it.
thanks.
Nice and just straightforward. Outside of teaching, outside of
Mhm.
math, what are your personal hobbies, interests, and passions?
I spend a lot of time with my kids.
Mhm.
They're really busy, and I'm really proud of them, and I try to support them in the things that they do.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a daily yoga practice. I
Okay.
practiced at Morning Glory Yoga
Okay.
downtown.
Yes,
I have a
ma'am.
really excellent teacher and a great community there. Other than that, I like to cook food and eat food,
Mhm.
and I like to try and rest on the weekends.
There's nothing wrong with a little yoga and resting. I remember my first time I tried out like the hot yoga, and
Oh,
I'm from
wow,
Houston,
yeah.
and I don't think that's what it was supposed to be. Just I shouldn't be slipping with my own sweat and everything, but it definitely became relaxing as I tried out the other
That's
sunrise
great.
yoga and things like that.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And so can you what is the mission of Jack Teach? And then what are some initiatives that y'all kind of been starting? I know you gave a little bit insight about that.
Yeah. So our mission is to develop more highly qualified
Hmm.
math and science teachers for our area and for the state of Texas
Yes,
and,
ma'am.
and for the kids who grow up and go to school here. So, students who major in math and science
Right.
and go through programs at universities like ours and like the other ones that SFA has to offer, of
Right.
which there are a lot, they tend to stay in teaching longer
Hmm.
and their students tend to learn more than teachers who are prepared in other ways. And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
our mission is to get more people to consider teaching as a profession, and when they choose that profession, to be really, really well prepared
Yes,
to
ma'am.
go out, do their best work, and feel like they're supported. They have a community here that they can come
Right.
back to, and that they're making a difference in the places that they work.
That's so beautiful. Now, I grew up with my mom worked in special ed, my sister worked in like high school math, my brother worked
Awesome.
in high school computer science and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
a bunch of family inside the education system. But I wanted to know, is the Jack Teach just for STEM students, one, and what is the significant difference in being in the College of Education?
So JacksTeach really is just for STEM majors.
Hmm.
We encourage anybody who's got a major in the College of Sciences and Mathematics to
Right.
come try out our course. But that really is our focus. So students get experiences teaching math and science lessons. We
Hmm.
really emphasize hands-on, active learning, and real authentic
Right.
classroom experiences for those students. The significance of JacksTeach being in the College of Sciences and Mathematics is we had sort of a big group of faculty members who were really passionate about math and science teaching,
Right.
and they worked really hard to sort of build that up. And so having us in the College of Science and Math really brings a focus to
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
and it helps the faculty, I think, support and build it up
Okay.
in a different way than they would have otherwise. Now, that said, we absolutely work with the College of Ed. We
Right.
can't do what we do without them.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
advise us. Their offices help us with all of the state requirements and
Right.
things like that. So we're absolutely partners with them.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Taking one step back because you
Yeah.
you you mentioned becoming a teacher. What was your career journey? And how did teaching at SFA kind of become something
Yeah.
that you pursued?
So when I was a senior in college, I started kind of looking for jobs, going on interviews,
Hmm.
and I kept having this feeling like I'm not getting to do that much math in this job. This
Yeah.
doesn't feel like enough math for me. And so I thought I probably need to go to graduate school.
Right.
And so I did that, and I'm glad that I did. And as I was, getting toward the end of graduate school,
Hmm.
you look at all the options there. There are a ton of options for people with graduate degrees in mathematics, which is
Right.
what I have. And I looked at it and said, I really think that a college campus is a great place to be.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
really think I'd like to be a professor and be an academic.
Right.
And so my husband and I sent out job applications all over the country, and I'm not kidding, everywhere.
Hey.
And SFA stood out. They had us in for an on-campus interview, and we
Right.
had a really great experience. People are often surprised to find out that I was never a classroom teacher. I never taught high school. I never taught K-12.
Okay.
But when I got here, a few of my mentors were really focused on teacher education and
Mhm.
mathematics education. And I really felt at home with them. And they said, I think you could be good at this and I think you could make a difference. So I
Yes,
sort
ma'am.
of followed their guidance. And it was really good guidance. And it was really nice to feel like I was helping people get ready to
Right.
go out and make a
Yeah.
difference. Um, so I started teaching a lot of the courses that the education majors take.
Mhm.
And when I still can't believe I did this, but when we got the JacksTeach program at SFA, I wrote my mentors and said, "Congratulations! Now there's that class I want to teach."
Yeah.
And they said, "Okay, you can teach that one." And it was really great. And so when they needed a director,
Mhm.
because the folks who'd been running it, they had more than one hat to wear, and it was
Right.
really quite a lot. And so when they were looking for somebody to really kind of take the lead, they thought of me, and I was really glad
Yes,
to do
ma'am.
that. So
Okay, that sounds like a pretty pretty interesting journey. Um, so when it came to going from a professor, not teaching in the
mm,
like K-12,
yeah.
education system and everything, what were some of the challenges you had to kind of overcome? And then also in the Jack Teach program, are there some challenges that you had to face and kind of learn from?
Yeah. So not having the classroom experience, sometimes, and rightly so, I think students would question, well, why are you teaching this class?
Right.
You know, not usually disrespectfully, but like, I'm preparing for this career as a
Yeah.
teacher. And um, you
Lack
don't
of
have that
experience. Yeah,
experience,
yeah.
right? And so we would have some pretty important talks about how if you're going to become a teacher, usually you're doing it because you want to help.
Right.
You want to help people, you want to help students grow, and you owe it to the students that you're working with to really know your stuff.
Right.
And so even though I might not have the years in the classroom and the classroom management tips
Yes, ma'am.
and how to build a lesson that's appropriate for an 8-year-old versus a 9-year-old, second grade versus third grade,
Mhm.
details like that, I can help you know the mathematics really deeply and flexibly so you can meet your students where they are and honor their creative thinking,
Yes, ma'am.
and help them grow their mathematical toolkit.
Okay.
So that was a big one. And then you also asked about challenges for JacksTeach.
Yes.
I would say our biggest challenge is recruiting students. We
Okay.
would love to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times as
Yeah.
many students
Yeah.
as we have now. We have really energetic people that work with us. I mean, they're here for it. They're
Mhm.
ready.
Yes, ma'am.
And we would just love to welcome more students into the program. So I'm glad to be here talking about it today. So hopefully more people would
Absolutely.
hear about it.
Yes, ma'am. Now that you actually bring that up, my next question is, what are some exciting opportunities, or things to build interest into the Jack Teach program?
Yeah, so there's the small scholarship for our first two intro classes.
Mhm.
There's some larger scholarships from the National Science Foundation. Some of my
Right.
colleagues have a scholarship program called T4, which
Okay.
is Talented Teachers in Training for Texas. And those scholarships are over $30,000
Yeah.
that students can get. So whenever we have that funding available, we really want to make sure people know about it. We also try and cover certification fees
Mhm.
for students.
Yeah.
And the most exciting thing, I think, is school districts and the state have really started to support paid internships.
Okay.
So, paid clinical student teaching
Mhm.
semesters. All of our students, the past few semesters in JacksTeach, have had those.
Yes, ma'am.
So, they're in the school every day and they're getting paid to be there. A lot of different professions have paid internships,
Right.
but education has traditionally not been one of them. It's absolutely time for that, and
Yeah.
it's really nice to see that it's actually happening.
That's exciting. I like that. So now y'all know y'all can not only earn a bonus as you're taking the course and everything, but get paid to take those internships. So check that out. What lesson have you learned in teaching Jack's Teach, and
Mhm.
then any lessons that kind of students can hold on to and everything?
Yeah. So I think the coolest thing about working in JacksTeach is we talked a minute ago about how I don't have experience as a
Right.
classroom teacher, but I work with some really great people
Yes,
who
ma'am.
do. So as the director, my job is really to ask them, what do you need? Make
Mhm.
sure they have it, and then get out of their way
Right.
and let them do their thing. And I like to think we have a really good atmosphere in JacksTeach. Students are down in our space, first floor of Bush Mathematical Sciences, studying all the time. They'll pop in our offices and say hi. And
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's because we respect and know what each of us can bring to the
Right.
program and bring to the table.
Okay. What advice would you give to students who are looking to go into education or even explore into JacksTeach?
Well, the first one is to sign up for our course, step
Yeah.
1. It's JTCH 1101. That's the first thing. In May of every year, we
Mhm.
usually have a job shadow program. That's part of that T4 scholarship.
Right.
So the week after finals, you can go to a high school for a week and shadow a teacher,
Nice.
which is pretty cool. And usually there's a stipend, so you
Right.
can stay on campus and you can
Yeah.
earn some money at the same time. And then just come by and talk to us. We'd be happy to let you know a little bit more what to expect. And if you think, yeah, I want to teach, but I'm not a math or science major, we'd be happy to talk to you. And if we can't convert you to be a math or science major, we can point you to somebody who can help you in your area.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Long, for joining us today and sharing your experience and insight. It has been inspiring to hear about your impact of Jack Teach on your work in preparing future STEM educators. Remember, listeners, success comes from dedication to learning and teaching. Subscribe to the cheat sheet and follow us on social media and stay connected. This is King Musa signing off, reminding you to keep educating, keep innovating, and keep inspiring. You have a great day.